Shubhaste Panthanaha. This blessing is often shared to bid farewell to those embarking on a journey. Travel is a wonderful means to explore and to gain new perspectives about life. Whether we look at Hanuman's quest for Sita or Arjuna's time in exile, our scriptures are filled with stories of travels that have been transformative, fostering inner growth and deeper understanding. At Shada Baba, we encourage travelers to share their accounts. This video is a travelogue of Japan. Japan is a country that has influenced many luminaries of India, such as Rabindranath Tagore and Subhas Chandra Bose, figures who have shaped modern India. By this sharing, we encourage students to learn new perspectives about life. We expose them to diverse ways and diverse worldviews to look at life. Sit back and enjoy this first-hand account of Japan.
Very good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay. I recently had the opportunity to travel to Japan, and I am somebody who enjoys traveling to different places because I feel that we learn a lot while we are traveling, while we are on the journey. We meet new people from different parts of the country, different parts of the world. They speak a different language, they follow different culture, a lot of things that we don't get to see when we are in our home. So that's the process of traveling that I enjoy the most. And today I'm so glad that I'm able to share my experience with all of you, my travel to Japan. Yes? All right. Who can tell me which country does this flag belong to? Yes.
Yeah.
Japan. Who can spell Japan for me? Sandhya.
Japan.
Can you try? Help her.
Japan.
It is Japan. Japan. All right. Can anybody make a guess? What does this red circle symbolize? Yes, Harish.
Sun.
It symbolizes sun. Good guess. Right. This is the map of Japan, and I want somebody to help me first locate India on the world map. Yes. India on the world map, correct. And now can you locate, is Japan to the east of India or to the west of India? First answer my question. Is Japan to the east of India or to the west of India? To the east of India, okay. Now can you locate Japan? Great. Good job. Thank you. So Japan, as you see over here, is a group of islands, and many different islands. Many islands joined together, it forms the country of Japan. All right. Can I have two people stand up here and show us, face each other, and show us how will you greet in India? How will you greet each other in India?
Namaste.
Okay. Will you do something else while doing namaste? Bow down. Great. Thank you so much. Similarly, in Japan, they also bow down. So very close to that, but they won't fold their hands. They'll just have their hand on the front or in the sides, and then they'll bow down. Okay? This is them wishing or greeting people, bowing down. It's very similar to our namaskar. They bow down when they want to say hello, they bow down when they want to say sorry, thank you, and excuse me. And I was lucky that I was able to remember a few words over here. So hello means konnichiwa in Japanese. Sumimasen is excuse me please. And arigato is thank you. Okay? So it's a difficult language, but I was able to pick up these 3 words. Also, in Japan, because there was a communication gap, which language do they speak? I just mentioned. Japanese, yes. And I don't know that language, correct? So it was very difficult to communicate. Despite that, people around were very helpful. And we were able to ask them a few questions and they were able to answer. Do you wonder how?
With action.
With actions, yes. Non-verbal communication, which means without words, just by using hand gestures, expressions, eye contact, we were able to have a communication. We felt welcomed over there. And for more complex communication, like if they wanted, like if I wanted to ask them something more in detail, then I would use something called Google Translate. It's an application on the phone. Okay. It helps us to translate one language to another language. So if I can say something in English, if I say like, how are you? The application will automatically translate that into Japanese language. Interesting? Isn't that a very good use of technology? And do you want to see how it works? Yes. So, I've opened the application and I've typed, where is platform number 36? I wanted to ask somebody that, but they didn't understand English. So I used the application, I typed everything in English because I understand English, I can write in English, and then the Google Translate automatically translates it into Japanese language. Can you see the line in Japanese? And also,
36番乗り場はどこですか?
so it's not just written Japanese, it's like verbal Japanese also. Just play it again.
36番乗り場はどこですか?
And it's vice versa. Then they'll speak something, I'll hold the phone to their mouth, close to their mouth, they'll say something in Japanese, and this application will translate that into English. Interesting?
Yeah.
It makes travel easy. Also, how will you travel from Surat to Valsad or Valsad to Surat? Train. Please raise your hand so we can. Yes,
Train.
sure. Train. Okay. What is the meaning of mode of transportation? Anyone? Yes.
Car, bus.
Yes. So transportation is moving from one place to another place, and the mode is either a car or a train or a bus or a cycle or walking. Okay. So the most convenient mode of transportation in Japan was train. And there were different kinds of trains. There were metro trains, local trains, bullet trains, and sky trains. Okay. I didn't get to sit in one of those, but I saw one. Also, one very interesting thing about trains was that they were very punctual. Always arrives on time and departs on time. Always on time. So, I have to calculate my time. I have to always get ready and be on time. Otherwise, I'll miss my train. Okay? So, what this means and what I learned from them is that they value time, they respect time. Okay? And not just for trains, even otherwise. I think and not just for schools. When are you on time? When do you have to be on time? When do you have to be punctual? Yes, Sandhya?
In school.
School. For the assembly? Yes. Okay, you have to be on time, otherwise you will be late. Okay, so there people value time. So if they have a meeting to attend, if they have a friend they have invited, or they have told them that we are going to meet at this particular time, they make sure that they are there before time. Okay. Also, very clean. Okay. Have you seen our train stations here?
Yes.
Yes. Have you seen trash everywhere?
Yes.
Yes. Why do you think that happens?
Because in India people throw trash everywhere.
Everywhere. But why do they do that?
Because they do not want to touch the drain.
Don't want to touch dustbin. Or maybe they're not very mindful.
Yes.
Yes? They didn't think that if I'm going to throw it here, it's going to look dirty. Yes? And then trash, too much trash it's unhealthy for our environment. Okay? So they were very mindful. So even if they had a very small piece of paper or a small piece of plastic like chocolate wrap, something as simple as that, they would make sure that they get up from their seat if they're in the train and they'll throw it in the trash. So on the platforms, the railway stations were clean, the trains were very clean, okay, because people were very mindful. And they were very thoughtful. So have you seen a lot of crowd on platforms, railway station? A lot of crowd like pushing each other and like shouting and screaming to get in the train, get on the train? Yes? Yes. And that's the similar case in Japan. There are a lot of people who travel by train every single day. So there is a lot of crowd as well on the station. But there is some system. So what they do is they will all wait in a straight line. Once the train arrives, they will let everybody who's on the train deboard the train. So every single person gets off the train who wants to get off, and then whoever wants to get in, they'll start entering the train. So they have a lot of patience. Also, they'll offer seats to older people. They'll offer seats to families with children, pregnant women. They're again very, very mindful. Okay, who needs the seat? Let's give our seat away, like that. Doesn't that make you feel nice if you were traveling to a place like that? Right? And would you want to practice something like that?
Yes.
Okay. Who can tell me the most iconic place, natural place in India? Harish. The Himalayas. Great, good answer. The Himalayas. It's a range of mountains, but it is so famous. All around the people know about the Himalayas and they know that it is in India. Similarly, the most iconic natural place in Japan is Mount Fuji. Mount is a short form of mountain. Okay? Mount Fuji. And it is an active volcano. What is a volcano?
The fire.
The fire, okay.
That is
Go ahead, no problem. Anybody wants to help her? Yes.
lava
There is lava, okay.
in the mountain.
Inside the mountain, okay. And then what happens?
Blast.
Blast, it erupts,
Yes.
okay. It erupts. So there is lava deep inside the mountain, okay. And then because of there is some certain pressure, it erupts. So this Mount Fuji is an active volcano. It has erupted in the past, okay. Not in the current time, but it has erupted in the past, but it's still active. There is proof that there is still lava inside the volcano and it can erupt in the future. Okay? So we were allowed to, do you see this lake over here? Yes. So we were allowed to view, people are allowed to view this mountain from a distance. You can't go climb the mountain. Only experts and scientists who work on researching about volcanoes and lava and mountains, they can go up there because they are experts in doing that. Okay? Also, Mount Fuji, another very interesting and sad thing was that this year, can you see, what do you see on top of the, what do you see on top of the Mount Fuji? The snow. This year, there was no snow on top of the mountain, which is very sad for the people of Japan. Can anybody make a guess why there was no snow? What must have happened? Any guesses? When do you have snow? In which season? Raise your hand, please.
Winter.
Winter, okay. So the winter season had started in the month of October, November, but still there was no snow. Any guesses? Okay. The term is global warming. Okay. The thing is, due to a lot of pollution in our environment, the winters are getting delayed. So there is less snow. There is the monsoons are extended monsoons or random rains. Like it's not even monsoon season and it pours. It's already winter season, but there's no snow. So the temperature, when does it snow? In higher temperature or lower temperature?
Higher.
When does it snow?
Higher.
Higher temperature?
Lower.
Lower temperature.
Yes.
Lower temperature means cold. Okay. Higher temperature means it's hot, hot, hot.
Hot.
Okay.
Yes.
So snow would fall in a higher temperature or a lower temperature?
Lower.
Lower temperature. But the temperatures are rising because of the pollution. Okay. So that's a very sad thing. Would you like to see snow someday? Which state in our country would you experience snow? Like, which state of India do you think would have snowfall? Yes.
Jammu.
Jammu and Kashmir. Would any state in the south have snowfall? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes? No. Yeah. All right. What is the capital of Japan? Anybody else? Palak, do you want to try? Capital of Japan?
Tokyo.
Tokyo. Tokyo is the capital city of Japan. Remember when we talked about capital once? We were talking, it's where the most business happens. There are lots of offices, lots of people, lot of activity, lot of commerce that happens in the capital. So right now it does not look crowded, but these places get pretty crowded, pretty packed, too many people. Okay. Despite that, and I was there, I was right here, despite that, I couldn't hear people raising their voice and talking. Okay. Their tone was very soft. Also, their mobile phones were most of the time on silent. Even when they were on the trains, the phones were on silent, so they won't ring really loudly. And they would, over the phone, also talk very softly to each other. So it makes your experience more pleasant. You don't feel that you are in the middle of too many people. Yeah? Would you like too much sound around you, or would you like calm and peaceful places?
Peaceful.
Calm and peaceful. Continuously, like people shouting and screaming, it's not too pleasant. And again, very clean. Do you see the streets?
Yes.
Very clean. Another interesting fact, there were not many dustbins over there. So how were they still clean?
They put the paper or garbage in their bag.
In their bag, yes. That's a good thought. Even here, there are chances that when we are traveling in India, we might not find a dustbin immediately. Or, as you mentioned, that you don't want to touch the dustbin. It's too dirty. So, they hold on to their trash. Who created that trash? Who made that trash? Yes. So, who should be responsible for that trash? We. Correct? So, they would hold on to that trash and walk around. Like walk on the streets with holding that cup of coffee or like a packet or a wrapper, hold on to it or put it in their bag, and then say after an hour or two, whenever they find the dustbin, they will dispose it. Okay? So that's also being very mindful. Okay. This is what a typical home in Japan looks like. Can you see this picture over here? Yes.
This house is top this way.
Top part is called what? What's the top part of the house called? Anybody else? Sandhya? No? Do you have top part on your house? Do we have houses over here in India? Okay. Is it open from the top or it's closed? Closed. Okay, so we all have something on top. What is that called? Yes, Harish. Roof. Okay, it's called a roof. Do we have roof right now?
Yes.
Yes. So each house mostly has a roof. Okay, but their roof looks different. There is a certain shape. There is a certain architecture to it. That observation is good, and there is a reason behind it, because it snows a lot in Japan. If the roof was flat, the snow would accumulate. So like just add on top, one on top of the other. But if the roof is slanted, the snow would just slide. Okay, that's why they have such roof. Also, the interior looks like this.
But there is no
Well, there was very little snow this time. Okay, the country is very old. So they used to have, and this is one of the oldest, these are the older homes, traditional old homes. So that's how, when they used to have lots of snow, they still do, but like in comparison, it is less. Okay, they still do have some snowfall.
This room is design.
Is a design? Looks like a design? Yes, it does. Yes. So this home would typically look something like this from inside. Do you see a lot of furniture?
No.
Do you see a lot of colors? No. Okay. Do you see white lights or dim lights? Dim lights. And those are the main characteristics of a Japanese home. They have very little furniture. They don't have beds and chairs and dining table and paintings hanging on the wall and like artificial flower vase and all that. They don't have. They keep it very minimalistic, simple, less things. Okay? And then they don't use a lot of colors. They don't paint. Anyways, their walls and all these blinds are made out of wood and bamboo. And their flooring is also like this thing that you're sitting on right now, the mat, the shetranji. They use something similar which is called a tatami flooring. Okay? And the traditional house is called a minka. So this is the traditional home, and I had this opportunity to live in a house like this. So ideally when you're traveling, you go and stay in a hotel. Okay? But now one can experience a homestay. Homestay is when a family in Japan would invite them to stay with them. So I would go and stay with a Japanese family in their house, and sleep in their extra bedroom that they have. And they have something called a futon, which is similar to our gadda. Have you all slept on a gadda? Without the bed?
Yes.
On the floor. So you open it, then you put a blanket on and then you sleep. They have something similar. So they open the futon every night, make their bed, sleep on it, and every morning they will fold, tidy up. Okay? So their homes look very neat and clean. They tidy up everything, even after cooking, even after getting up in the morning, and their rooms, so they tidy up. Yeah? And this is a modern architecture. Similar, it's a Japanese home, but it's a modern Japanese home. And they use concrete, but still the characteristics are similar. Do you see many colors over here?
No.
Do you see many furniture?
No.
And do you see things hanging on the wall?
No.
And a lot of natural light coming from the window. All right. So what would we wear if we were going to a wedding in India? Yes, Palak. Kurta pajama. What would a lady wear? Sari. Yes. Lehenga. Yes. That is our traditional outfit. Similarly, Japan has their traditional outfit, which is called a kimono. What is it called? Kimono. It's like a wraparound and then wrap around on the bottom. Okay? And it looks very beautiful on them. They wear it on special occasions like wedding or if they have to perform somewhere, special occasions. And again, do you see too many colors? No. Yeah. So there is simplicity in how they dress. Simplicity, not too much. Even not just the traditional outfit, but if you are walking around in the city and people are going to work or they're just casually meeting each other for dinner, they're still they're very simply dressed. They look elegant. They don't have too many colors, like bling over here, diamond over here, glitter over here. They don't believe in that. They believe in simplicity. Okay? They walk also very gracefully, especially when they wear a kimono. Like how would you walk in a sari? Like gracefully, or would you run in a sari? You can, but like ideally, when you're wearing a sari, would you walk gently like that? Yes? Yeah, similarly. All right. Japan is known for a lot of different art forms. Different. Art means not just painting, but different art forms. Painting, pottery, literature, dance, their architecture, their gardens. We'll go one by one because it's very interesting. Okay, so I have 3 paintings. There are many more, but I've just selected 3. And what do you see? Like how many colors do you see in all these 3 paintings?
1 or 2.
1 or 2. Okay. What's the meaning of monochrome? What's the meaning of mono? Can you try, Shivan? What's the meaning of mono? Anybody else? Palak? Okay, Sandhya? 1. Mono means 1. And what could be the opposite of mono? Many, okay. Can you think of any other word? Extra points for this. Starts with the letter P. Poly. Poly. Okay. So monochrome. What is the meaning of chrome? Any guesses? Chrome. Think we are talking about paintings right now. Okay. You already guessed mono is 1. Now you have to guess chrome. Colors. Yes. 1 color. Good job. So they don't again believe in using a lot of colors. They try to play with just 1 or 2 shades. And this particular painting here is called an Enzo. A very interesting thing about that is they have 1 brush, they dip it in a black ink, and then this painting is made with just 1 stroke, 1 single stroke. Isn't that interesting? It could be a complete circle or an open circle. Okay, so that's another form of art. And they focus on a lot of landscape. Landscape is? Which one of this is a landscape? Kripali? Is this a landscape, or this is a landscape? 1, 2, 3. Palak? 1, 2, 3. Which one is the landscape? 2. This one? No. Sandhya? First one. Landscape means your surrounding. Okay? Your mountains and your trees and sun and the sky and the flowers and everything that you see. Okay? In nature. Okay? That's a landscape. And they do figures and expression. This is an art of expression. Like however you feel, your strokes come out like that. Very interesting. Okay. Then they do a lot of pottery. Pottery is the art of making pots, different kinds of pots. Who can tell me what's a crockery? Crockery. Yes, Falak. A bowl. It could be a bowl. A cup.
Chopsticks.
Yes. So crockery is usually something from which we eat. So our plates, our spoon, our bowl, our cups, these are all crockery. And the ones in which we cook food is called? Utensils, correct. Okay. So this is one. This bowl over here is an art. It's an art form, and it's called kintsugi. Can you all say this word?
Kintsugi.
Kintsugi, right? It is a very creative thing, and there's a story. So what they do is they will make this bowl, okay, and they'll break it. So now it's into pieces, and then they will join these pieces, glue it together. Once they're joined, they will paint the cracks with a golden paint, so it looks beautiful. Doesn't this look beautiful? Yes. And then it would have been a regular blue pot, simple blue pot, but now it's a piece of art, and now it's very expensive also. Okay? So this art takes a lot of resilience. Can you all say the word resilience? Resilience. What do you think that means? The word resilience. I did explain to you what this art form is, kintsugi, what do they do? So what do you think resilience would be? Any guesses? You need to have resilience to make this pot. Yes, Sandhya. It's expensive, yes. But you have to, there has to be resilience in you to make this pot. Concentration, yes. And? Focus. These are all terms that you can use. Yes? Patience, yes. So you'll have to, it's broken, now it's going to take time, right? Would it take time? Is it an easy thing to do, to join all these simple, small pieces? No, it takes a lot of time. So you need a lot of focus, lot of concentration, lot of resilience, which is, I can do it. I will do it. I will make this into a beautiful form of art. Okay? So that is resilience. And then there's something called wabi-sabi. Somebody asked me that question in the beginning. What is wabi-sabi? So wabi-sabi means that you can find beauty in something that's imperfect also. Okay? Not everything needs to be perfect all the time to make it look beautiful. Does that make sense? Yes? Can anybody tell me what is wabi-sabi? Yes?
If one person may trying but this is not good, we can find
The good in that?
good in that
We could.
painting.
We could. Right? So if there was a little flower, very small flower or a small leaf that was growing out of this wall, would you find beauty in that?
Yes.
That's an art. If you find it, great, you've achieved wabi-sabi. Okay, literature. What comes to your mind when you think of the word literature?
English.
English, okay. Could it be in any other language, or it has to be in English? Capacity? Okay. Grammar, okay. All right. So, literature could be anywhere in this world. It could be in English, could be in Gujarati, could be in Japanese, could be in German language, French. So, it's not language bound. Literature is any piece of written work. It could be a poem, it could be a novel, it could be a play that somebody has written. Okay? Any form of written art is literature. And they have something very interesting called haiku. Say this word.
Haiku.
Haiku. It's a Japanese term. Haiku is a short poem. And I have 2 books over here which have haiku poems in it, and maybe I can show you one, how small they are. Okay? Can everybody see?
Yes.
Okay. Can you see these lines over here?
Yes.
1, 2, 3. That's it. And this is the explanation of the poem. So the poem is just 3 lines. Maybe like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 words. Okay. So very short, and it's in the moment, like making a poem from this moment over here, what we are doing, who we are with, where we are, and then you make like a poem from this moment. So that is what a haiku is. They're simple and composed in the moment. Okay, next is dance. Do we all, you all like to dance, right? All the girls here?
Yes.
What form of dance do you do? Bharatnatyam. And do we have just one or we have many in India? Many forms of dances. In Japan, similarly, they have many different forms of dance. Many. But I got a chance to see only one dance. And they, what are they wearing? Raise your hand and tell me, what are they wearing? Anybody else? The word is on the board and I did mention it. Yes, kimono. They are wearing their traditional outfit and they're performing on a stage for an audience. And the dance that they perform is called Nihon Buyo. What is it called?
Nihon
Buyo, yes. And they're performed by these women who are called geisha. Geisha. And why? So, I can't go and just wear a kimono and go up and dance because I have not learned that dance. Like how you have to learn Bharatnatyam for like 7 years, then do your Visharad and then Arangetram, then you get a certificate and then you can perform on the stage, like professional performances. Okay, in a similar way, they have to live in a setup with their teachers. They have to learn the dance, they have to they have a schedule, so they have to wake up at a particular time, eat a certain kind of food, they have a schedule, timetable, they have to follow all that for many years and learn the dance thoroughly, continuously. And then they become a geisha and then they are able to perform the dance called Nihon Buyo and many other dances like that. Okay? So there is again a lot of persistence, new word. Which word did we learn when we were talking about pottery? Yes? Yes.
Monochrome.
Monochrome and resi. Go ahead, try, it's okay. So it was a new word for you, so it's difficult to remember, but what was it called? Resilience, correct. It's called resilience. And now another new word, it's called persistence. Persistence also means continuous practice. You can't practice on a Monday and then practice on a Friday and then skip and then practice on Thursday. Then you cannot become a geisha and then you cannot perform. Okay, so they have to practice every single day for many hours, follow all the routine to become a geisha. And they have very controlled movements. So I'll show you a video. Look at them. Look at all these. Okay, interesting?
Yes.
Okay. Did you see a group of people sitting on the side and they were playing an instrument?
Yes.
Yes. That instrument is called shamisen. Okay. It's called shamisen. And they have strings. Like we have string instruments. Name one string instrument that you've seen in India. Yes. Guitar. Okay. Indian instrument? String. String instrument.
Veena.
Veena, correct. Yes. So their instrument is called shamisen. And did you see their movements? How was it?
Same.
Yeah, they were coordinated. That comes from persistence, practice. And then they were swaying. Okay? Gentle, yes. A lot of gentle movement as well. All right. Next is their architecture, because there's art in architecture also. To create a building is an art. Right? To design that building is an art. So this is a traditional architecture example, and this is a modern architecture. This is the Osaka castle. It is one of the oldest castles that they have in Japan, and again made out of wood. But do you see the structure? Is it similar to the house that we saw? Yes, similar to that. And do you see too many colors? Too many paint, too many colors? No. Very simple, again on the lines of monochrome. Right? And this is a modern architecture. Again, do you see too many colors here? No. Too many things, too much, too busy? No. And interesting, this is a triangle shape, and this looks like an inverted triangle. Interesting? Interesting building? Yeah. Okay. What comes to your mind when you think of a garden? Harish?
Playing.
Playing. What do you see in a garden when in India?
Beautiful flowers.
Beautiful flowers,
Beautiful trees.
trees,
Swings.
swings and slides. Yes. This is what is in your mind when you think of a garden. But this is a Japanese Zen garden. Do you see beautiful flowers inside the garden? This is outside the garden, so don't consider this. But this, within this, do you see beautiful flowers? Trees? Slides? Swings? No. Okay. So a Zen garden is actually made up of white gravel. Gravel is a small stone. Okay. It's made out, it's like this bed is covered with all these white gravel, and then it is raked. So there's a tool which has all these four or five spokes, and then it's raked. Do you see these lines over here? Yeah, it's done with a lot of consciousness, not just random lines. Then it wouldn't be beautiful, or it wouldn't look like a Zen art. Okay, so it's done very very consciously in a certain method. Imagine you made lines and then you have a footprint over here. Would it look nice? No. So imagine how much effort they must have put in. Also, it's a place where actually people go and meditate. Okay, they find peace. People are not again shouting over there in those gardens. People are not screaming or playing over there. Gardens are not meant to go and play at. They sit there in peace. They just look around or they meditate. Okay? That's the beauty of a Zen garden. Yes.
This is small garden.
It is, yes. It is a small garden. There are bigger gardens, but usually a Zen rock garden, which is made out of these white gravel, they are not too huge. They are in a confined space. Okay. This is a shrine. A shrine is what we call a mandir in India, a temple. Okay. And they follow Buddhism and Shintoism. These are two religions. Have you heard of Buddhism before?
Yes.
Yes, correct. In a similar way, they have, on a similar thought process, they have Shintoism. But like we have Ganeshji, we have Krishna, we have Ram, they don't have one particular god that they believe in. Okay? They worship a lot of objects. Sometimes they worship a tree. Sometimes they'll worship a rock. Sometimes, which religion worships a book? Anybody else? You want to try? Anybody from here? Which religion worships a book?
Sikhism.
Sikhism. Yes. And what is their book called?
Guru Granth Sahib.
Guru Granth Sahib. Great. So people from different religion, they follow or they believe in different idols. Maybe it could be a god or it could be an object, and that's what they pray. Also, do you remember going to Pandera over here?
Yes.
Yes. What did you do? You climbed up the mountain or the hill. Climbed up the steps. Yes. Do you see these steps over here?
Yes.
And there are steps over here. So these are called torii gates. Okay. And whatever written over here in Japanese, I believe is their mantras, something that they chant. Okay, that's what's written. And then you have to walk up those hills to reach the shrine, very similar to Pandera. And also, do you see like how beautiful the setup is? So beautiful, isn't it clean? So whichever shrine we visited, actually many shrines. They have many shrines in Japan, and each shrine was beautiful. The surrounding was clean and very pristine, like this. Sometimes in nature, yes. And they also do not offer a lot of things at their temple, at their shrine. Like we do a lot. What do we offer to our God? What do we offer when we go to a temple? Yes, Palak. Fruits. Yes. What else? Flowers.
Gold.
Gold. Okay. Do you offer gold? You mean? Do you offer gold? Okay. Maybe the idol is made out of gold. Maybe the murti is made out of gold. That is possible. Yes. Okay. So we do a lot of, and that's good. We have a reason why we offer. But what happens next? We take that in a plastic bag, right? All the flowers in the plastic bag, and then we're throwing that plastic bag around. We're throwing those flowers around. So then the place around the temple becomes dirty. Okay. So that's one thing that they don't. They must be offering something, but they don't offer too many flowers and fruits and coconut and all that. So their surroundings are clean. And anyways, they're very conscious about disposing their garbage. All right, who is excited about this part? Yes. Okay. Everybody knows what is this called? We have it here. Chopsticks. Okay. So this is not a toy. Okay. They respect their chopsticks a lot. Okay. There is a certain way in which they hold it, a certain way in which they place it. So it can't go on the ground. It can't be like, you can't put it on your lap or anywhere. It has like on the table, next to your plate or your bowl, it has to be kept properly. Also, you don't point at anybody with chopsticks. Like you don't point or you don't play with it. It's considered disrespectful in Japanese culture. Okay. And what posture, can you see this picture clearly? Can you see how they are sitting? Okay. Who can tell me which posture is this? It looks very similar to something that we do here in India. What does it look like? Meditation, but what under meditation? This posture particularly. How are they sitting? Can you see? Prayer. Okay, let me show you how are they sitting. They're sitting, if you can't see it clearly, they're sitting like this. Yes. Vajrasan. Very similar to Vajrasan. And this is how they sit. Do you see their dining table?
Yes.
This one over here? Okay, we found something very similar over here. Okay? So they use very low seated tables. And they sit on the floor. The tatami sheets, remember? I shared that? Something similar to this mats?
Yes.
Yeah. So they sit on tatami sheets, low table, and they sit in something called Vajrasan. And they have their meals also like this. But sometimes when they invite guests, they have something called a tea ceremony. Tea ceremony. What do we offer our guests when they come to our place?
Tea.
Tea. Isn't it the first thing that we offer? Pani, chai pani piyoge? We say that, right? Very similarly, they also have tea, but their tea is different. Okay, it's not very similar to ours. You will get to experience it. And they, again, mindful of their posture, they sit, they welcome their guests. They have a special room where they have this tea ceremony. Okay? And they welcome their guests, they'll sit like this, and they have special crockery. Again, the word crockery. Yes? Which side is the crockery, here or here? Yeah, this is the crockery. And can you see the tea set?
Yeah.
Okay, so they'll use something like that, and they'll specially prepare the tea. Sometimes they'll prepare the tea in front of the guest. Okay, they'll mix their tea like that, and like they crush the tea and then pour hot water. So they prepare the tea, and very carefully, very mindfully, they'll hold the teapot, tilt it. It's not done in a rush. Okay, there is a system. There is a sense of calm when they're doing that process, because they think that it's very respectful. It's a harbadi nahi, jaldi nahi, no rush. Okay? Then they pour, and then they hold the cup with both their hands like this, and then they gently sip on the tea. They'll not make that sound. They won't make that sound. We make that sound sometimes, right? Okay, that's okay. But they gently sip, not like gut, not like that, because it's very hot, right? So that's a tea ceremony. And yeah, I did mention about eating rules. Also, they don't even walk and eat. Like a lot of times they don't really eat in public spaces, because they believe that it's not very respectful of, just walking and eating. Like open a packet of chips and you're walking and eating. They don't really do that. You will see some of the tourists do that, but they usually don't do that. They find a spot, a corner or a garden or a space, they'll sit and then they'll eat there. And many restaurants also, like we had this mela over here, and you had all these food stalls. So on the food stalls, they'll put a board that, please, we request that you stand at our stall and finish your juice or your tea or your coffee or whatever they are eating, and then you walk. Please don't walk and eat. The restaurants or the cart people, the vendors will put that, just out of, they'll request the tourist or the people to not walk and eat. And less consumption of Western food. So they take pride in their traditional food. What's the meaning of pride? I'm showing the action. What is pride? They feel
Proud.
They feel proud. Okay. Their traditional food is rice, noodles made out of different grains, and then sometimes they'll add vegetables, and then sometimes they'll add meat. Meat is any sort of animal meat. So could be fish or anything. And sushi is raw fish. Yes. That's their traditional food, and they take pride in it. So you typically in cities, maybe you will find a lot of places to eat your burgers and pasta and pizza and chow mein and all that. But the traditional villages and the traditional towns, you will not see. If we walked into a departmental store, I'm a vegetarian and I had trouble finding food over there. So I would go in a departmental store to buy something that's vegetarian, something that I can just buy. But they didn't have many breads. Maybe one section, one loaf of bread or something like that. But they didn't have different varieties of bread like pav and white bread and this bread and that bread. They didn't use a lot of cheese. And they didn't use all these chips packets and all that. So they would have white rice in their departmental stores. So it's like taking pride in their food culture. They believe that it's healthy, it's good, and we will eat this. So they didn't adapt to the Western food culture, which is the pizza, burger, very easily. Yes? Yeah. That's called taking pride in their culture. So we can, do you all want to use the chopsticks to eat something?
Yes.
Try it? Excited? Okay. But do you all remember the rules?
Yes.
Okay, it has to be done very gently. You will have to be very mindful. Okay, all right. Let's go. I'll need your help again. We'll move around. We'll sit on this. We'll imagine this is a tatami sheet, and we will all sit here. We'll move that table over here. I'll need maybe 2 volunteers. Gently carry that table and bring it to the center of the tatami sheet. And you all turn around.